President Trump today announcing, quote, the heaviest sanctions ever imposed against North Korea, targeting 56 shipping and trading entities who were caught evading U.S. and international sanctions against the Kim regime. The Treasury Department also threatening sanctions against countries that continue to support North Korea's nuclear program. And the president offering a scathing rebuke of serious human rights violations after more than 400 people, including 99 children, were killed by pro-Assad airstrikes in eastern Ghouta. Take a listen.
What Russia and what Iran and what Syria have done recently is a humanitarian disgrace. I will tell you that. We're there for one reason. We're there to get ISIS and get rid of ISIS and go home. We're not there for any other reason. And we've largely accomplished our goal. But what those three countries have done to people over the last short period of time is a disgrace.
My next guest believes U.S. inaction in Syria is hurting our global interests. Jack Keane is a retired four-star general, the chairman of the Institute for the Study of War, and the senior strategic analyst at the Fox Business Network. General, it was good to hear him call out Russia and Iran like that, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah, I'm delighted he's doing that, but it clearly isn't enough. I mean, it's almost laughable what Russia's doing. It's so sad and tragic because here they are committing war crimes. They're bombing every hospital that's in the 400,000 community of East Ghouta. And there's a dozen or so in there. That's a war crime itself. Assad has been committing war crimes for all 6 years. Russia certainly supports them in doing all of that. But Russia believes and says to their own people the reason why they're in Syria is because of ISIS. And the reason why they're in Syria is for one reason only, to prop up the Assad regime. And the means to do that is to kill the Syrian people who would oppose them. And that is what is so horrific.
General, one thing I don't understand, forgive me for interrupting, but I don't get what Russia gets out of Syria.
They get a huge strategic intervention in the Middle East. Syria, the Russians want to replace the United States as the most influential out-of-region country in the Middle East, which has been our province since the end of World War II. They see us disengaging from the Middle East, and they want to take our place. They've got an arms deal going with every Sunni Arab country. They want to build nuclear power plants all around the Middle East, and they're doing that because they want geopolitical influence. This is about eventually domination and control. Iran and Russia have a political and military alliance. That's why I think our strategy is wrong. I disagree with the president today because Korea is looking at this and seeing American weakness. Iran is looking at this and seeing American weakness. Russia is looking at it and seeing American weakness, and so is China. These things relate to each other in terms of America standing up.
Well, General, certainly during the Obama administration, we saw the U.S. becoming almost a feckless power in the Middle East. I mean, pulling out of Iraq too soon, which essentially gave rise to ISIS and other terror groups, doing nothing when Syria would step over the line of violating human rights. At least this administration, the Trump administration, had that airstrike once they used chemical weapons.
No, I totally agree with that. And I totally agree with the rhetoric surrounding the fact that we want to stand up to Iran's malign and aggressive behavior. But a place to help do that. I'm not suggesting we have to get immediately in the middle of the civil war, but we can organize the world to sanction certainly Iran and Russia. These are nation states, you know, for this war crimes that they're committing, and they clearly are.
Well, we can start by tearing up the Iranian treaty, right? The nuclear treaty.
Yeah, and there's other things we can do with the Arabs in the region to help, at least in eastern Syria, with a little bit of their presence there. So there's things that we can do to help get our diplomats some leverage. Right now, our diplomats have no leverage, and there's not going to be a political solution here anytime soon.
Well, you contrast that, though, with what's happening with North Korea. It looks like we are holding the line on North Korea, right?
Yeah, absolutely. We put the military option back on the table. We have a policy of maximum pressure, and we've been shutting down about 70 to 80%, David, of North Korea's revenue and commodity and trading. this new sanctions is to try to shut down as much of the rest of it as possible. These have been loopholes, mostly ships and shipping companies, and also now the Navy is going to start interdicting some of these ships that have been backdooring the capability into the North Korean ports. This is all a very good step in the right direction.
Quick last question on General McMaster. As you know, there's some rumors that they're not too happy with him at the White House. Our national security advisor, some suggestions he may go back to the Pentagon to get a fourth star like you have. What have you heard about that?
Well, I read the same thing you read. I was with him a couple of weeks ago. He was taking me through some of the challenges that they're facing in the world in terms of national security, giving me some insight, getting my views on things. I mean, he was a happy camper in terms he loved what he was doing. He was working hard. He believes he's got a good relationship with the president, the chief of staff. There's people like him. So I don't know. I mean, none of us know for sure what's going on here, to be honest with you, David.
Well, at least he's going, not to blow smoke, but at least he's going to the right place for information. General Jack Keane, good to see you, my friend. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Have a good weekend.